In the world of Hashimoto's, understanding your own root causes is only half the battle. Holistic healing is about more than that. It's about figuring out what to do next. So in episodes 60 and 61, we talked all about the different root causes that you might have experienced that triggered your own Hashimoto's. And today we're going to talk about what's next. What do I do with this information? So in this episode, you're going to figure out what changes to make, how to evaluate those changes, and then how to speed up your progress. Because who wants to be stuck in making the changes? No, we want progress. We want to get to the end as fast as possible. Welcome to the Health with Hashimoto's podcast. We cover holistic root cause solutions. So if you are fed up with the medical establishment telling you to just take this medication and come back in 6 months, if you're looking for ways to actually help your body to do what it's designed to do, then you came to the right place. This is where women with Hashimoto's find hope, healing, and energy without becoming overwhelmed with all the shoulds of an autoimmune disease. So a quick summary of episodes 60 and 61. I obviously can't go into the entire thing because it took 2 episodes, but a quick summary is everybody's autoimmune condition has 3 components, and that's a genetic component, a gut component, and then 1 or more triggers. The triggers that I identified were hormone changes, iodine, vitamin D levels, food reactions, environmental chemicals, stress, blood sugar issues, and infections of any kind. And we talked about all of those things in episodes 60 and 61. So if you have not listened to those episodes, hit pause, go listen to those episodes, and then come back to this one. Because if you don't know your root causes, then you're not going to be able to take effective action. In fact, if you don't know your root causes, then your actions are going to mimic the things that you see online. They're throwing spaghetti at the wall, or they're trying to, cover every possible scenario because they don't know what is particular for you. Or they're covering, what works for a lot of people, but it doesn't necessarily apply to you because you are not a lot of people. You are your own self. You are different from every single other person. You are a bio individual. Of course, as somebody with Hashimoto's, you have a lot in common with others, but you're your own person. You have your own health journey, and your next steps forward might look different than your friends. So what is first for you? Well, number 1, you are going to look at all of those root causes and you're going to figure out which one or ones best fit your own health history. Which ones is it for you? And then once you figure it out, then you have a path forward. So of course, because the big 3 cover everybody, and that's you, there's a genetic component, a gut component, and your top triggers. So as somebody with a genetic component, you're going to want to figure out, well, what do I do with that? Now, the genetic component, you can't go back in time and change your ancestry, but what you can do is you can turn different genes on and off, and you can impact the way that the bad genes, maybe not bad, the ones that predispose you towards certain illnesses, those will be more active and activated in times where your body has more oxidative stress, or when you're eating foods that, turn them on. There is a whole field of nutrition. It's called nutrigenomics, using nutrition to turn genes on and off. And so there are things that you can do with your diet. The basic simple one is eating more whole foods and less processed foods. But there are more specifics that you can get into if you want to pursue that root cause, your genetic component. And then there's that gut component. Now, I do have a free ebook, and it is all about gut health. Of course, in my last episode, we talked about your poop. Is it normal? And then what can you do about it? I have an ebook that I'm going to talk about in just a couple minutes that gives even more details if you want to dive into your gut health. And then your top triggers. So what are you going to do? Number 1, you want to identify. You want to identify what the root cause was and what changes you can make. So let's go with the environmental chemical trigger idea. Okay. So let's say you're thinking back to your teenhood and you're like, oh, I kind of lived in Bath and Body Works. I can smell all the smells in that store in my memory. It's so potent. And you know what? Even now I have Glade plugins or, scented things all around my house. I spray my yard with different things so that I don't have bugs or so that I have green grass. I use deodorants or antiperspirants that have aluminum. My water has fluoride. My water has chlorine. Like, you're identifying all of these environmental chemicals. So then you're going to identify, you're going to narrow it down. Choose one or two things to make changes to. Because if you try to do everything all at once, it gets to be too overwhelming and most people will quit. They'll either freeze or they'll just give up if you try to tackle too much at once. So choose one or two things. If you know that your house is filled with scented things, then maybe for you, that change is going to be, okay, I'm going to go through one category of my house this weekend. I'm going to go through my laundry room, or I'm going to go through my own personal bathroom, or I'm going to go through all of the candles. Whatever that category is for you, you're going to go through and you're going to remove the artificial scents. You're going to give it away. You're going to throw it away. You're going to use it up. Whatever you feel comfortable doing, you're going to just make one or two changes. And then you're going to evaluate. So the steps are, you're going to identify a change to make. You're going to whittle it down so that you're making a small enough change that it is sustainable. And then you're going to evaluate. Now, as far as when to evaluate, in episode 46, I covered a little bit about, how to know when to evaluate, how to make those evaluations, how to know if the changes that you are making are working. That was what that episode is all about. So episode 46. So after you identify and make the changes, and then you're going to evaluate, and then you go back to the beginning. You're going to identify what else do I want to look at? And then you're going to figure out how to make those changes. And then you're going to evaluate. And it's this cycle. It's a repeating cycle because I've given you the path. I have showed you these are the typical root causes: genetic component, gut component, and triggers. And then we went through 8 different triggers of Hashimoto's. So it's kind of like I've given you boundaries and now you know what to stay within. So they're always looking into these certain things. But at the same time, that's a lot. It can be overwhelming. And I know when I first found out that I had Hashimoto's, I was completely overwhelmed because I felt like even though I knew what the root causes were, or I quickly learned them, it was still so much. I'm like, what am I going to do first? And so then I took some steps. I was able to figure out what my priorities were and then, put changes into place and evaluate. I followed the same thing, but I want to make it shorter for you. I want to cut down the time that it takes you to figure out what to do and to figure out how to make the changes and to evaluate. Let's speed up that process. So instead of having kind of like a maze where you're still within the boundaries, but you're kind of hitting dead ends and you're trying different things, trying different paths, let's go on a straightforward path so to get you from A to Z as fast as possible. Does that sound like a good plan? I think it does. And that is why I am reopening the Holistic Hashimoto's course for you. So I did around this summer so that I could perfect it all for you. And it's ready. It is ready for you to enroll so that you can get started and get from A to Z as fast as possible. In the course, in just 4 weeks, you have a very clear path. You will know exactly what to do so that you can increase your energy, lose weight, and feel like yourself again. Now, obviously, it took you years to get to the point where you are, and we're not going to undo all of that in 4 weeks. You're not going to lose, 50, 100 pounds in 4 weeks. What we're going to do is we're going to get you started on that path so you know exactly what to do. No more overwhelm, no more shoulds. Like in this program, I don't should on you. I still make sure that you are in full control. You're going to learn exactly what's going on so that you can make that best decision. I'm not going to overwhelm you and I'm not going to should on you. This is all about empowering you to take holistic action so that you get the results that you want. Because if you are average, if you are the average Hashimoto's patient, you spent 4 years looking for answers. And that was 4 years of your body attacking your thyroid. It was 4 years of your body fighting itself. It was 4 years of symptoms gradually increasing. Sometimes you weren't even aware of it until you looked back and you're like, last year at this time, I was a totally different person. What happened? That's what's happening gradually, and we want to take action so that you can feel like yourself again. I don't want you to waste any more of your time. I don't want you to waste any more of your energy, and I don't want you to waste any more of your money pursuing different things that may or may not work. I want you to have a very clear path. And so that brings up one thing that immediately comes to mind, like, Esther, I'm working with a functional medicine doctor. Awesome. I am so excited for you if you found a really good provider, somebody who can help you on this journey that you're on, help you identify the root causes, do a bunch of lab testing with you, and help you make the best informed decision. Not everybody has a fantastic doctor like that. So if you do, a doctor or any provider, if you are in that boat where you have an absolutely phenomenal provider who's helping you with this, then this is still the right course for you, because you're going to be able to streamline your process and speed things up. And we all know that having an absolutely phenomenal provider, it's not cheap. So you are still looking for ways to save time and money to get from A to Z faster. And if you don't have an amazing provider like that, then this course is especially for you, because I take you by the hand and I walk you through exactly what to do, exactly what's going on. Now, of course, this is a virtual program and I am a nurse. You put those two things together, which means I am not diagnosing, I'm not prescribing, I'm not promising cures. What I am providing you with is the education and empowerment with this guided course to help you address your own unique root causes and challenges. It is your time to take action and to take effective action. There are clear steps. There are simple solutions. No more throwing spaghetti at the wall to figure out what works. This is designed for you. And in this course, you're going to get your very own app. I don't know about you, but I have taken courses where I forget to log in. Like, oh yeah, there's that website somewhere. I think I bookmarked it. Well, I took that out of the equation for you. So there's going to be an app right on your phone. And within the app, there is the course. Also within the app, there's a community. Now, this community is really tiny right now because we are a small podcast that's growing. You are part of my community just listening to me every week. And now you get to go a little bit deeper and you get to join the app and be part of that community. Now, once I get the app on the app stores, then everybody listening to this podcast will be able to download the app and join our community so that you can have like people to talk to about the different episodes. There is a free community like forum in the app. I'm so excited about that because not everybody wants to be on social media, and I totally understand that and respect it. So within the app, there is the course, and then there is also a community area so that you can talk to other people who are on this journey with you. I hear over and over that people feel lonely. You feel isolated. You feel like you're in this by yourself and nobody really understands. And that is what a community is for. It's to support you, to let you know that you're not alone. And that is why I am so excited that there is a community aspect of this course. So you can head over to healthwithhashimotos.com right now and you can get more information about the course, but let me tell you a little bit about it. Number one, you're going to start off with a bonus feature, which is the gut health ebook. And that is a free resource that comes as soon as you enroll in the course or within 24 hours, because I want you to be able to take action on that root cause. I want you to be able to understand it. And I feel like out of everything, the gut, you can dive into it a little bit more. You can dig into it. There's a bit more to understand. So that's why I have an ebook for you, and it's not super long. Depending on how quickly you read or how slowly you read, you can probably get through the entire ebook in less than half an hour and be able to figure out which changes to implement. Because within that ebook, I made a specific graph or a chart so that you can say, okay, if this is going on, this is what I want to do. And again, I'm empowering you to choose the very best option for you. And I make sure that everything is simple and sustainable. I'm not going to overwhelm you. And I ask that you don't overwhelm yourself, because there are choices in there. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So I try to keep things as simple as possible, but of course, effective. So as soon as you enroll, I will get you that ebook, which is the gut health book. And then on August 21st, you are going to start with week 1. We're all going to start together again. You're going to start with week 1, which covers the basics, like where am I going, how am I going to get there, like the course overview. And we're going to talk about labs, including vitamin D and iodine, because in this course, we will cover every single one of the root causes. Each week has a different primary focus, but over the course of the 4 weeks, we talk about every single root cause, because I want to make sure that you get your questions and your issues addressed. We want this course to make sure to cover every single person's bio-individuality. I want to empower you so that you can take effective action so that you feel like yourself again. Week 3, we talk a lot about diet, and it is a week without shame. There's no shame, there's no guilt. There's gathering data, and there's hope and healing going forward. There's no shame anywhere in this course, but especially during the diet week when we're evaluating what you're eating and how you want to make changes. In week 4, we talk a lot about stress and toxins and hormones. If you're interested in that, that is going to be such a fun week. So this podcast episode is coming out on Thursday, October 12th. You have 8 days, including today, the 12th. You have 8 days to get an early bird discount, which is 10%. If you go to healthwithhashimotos.com, you're going to see the link right at the top so that you can go get more information. If you're like me, you want all of the details. If you're like my sister, she doesn't want the details. She just wants the link to buy. I've got them both there so that you can dive in whichever way is the best for you. There's the enroll now button, and then there's all the details. So if you enroll within the next week, so before next Friday, you can have a 10% discount, which is the early bird discount. The price of the program is $497, and so 10% off through Thursday, October 19th, 2023. I am so excited for you to get started. I want you to feel like yourself again. I want you to get answers as fast as you can, and not just answers, but to actually be able to take control of your health and feel like yourself again. That is what we all want. We all want that. You want a clear path. You want to know exactly what to do for your Hashimoto's so that you can increase your energy, lose weight, and feel like yourself again. And you are going to find that path in the Holistic Hashimoto's course. I will see you in the course. The link is down below. Go click that link, get your 10% discount, and get in the course right now so that you can take effective action. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. Please be sure to discuss any concerns and plans with your trusted healthcare professional.